listening to The Review on the OSG Sports Podcasting Network.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of The Review. It's the Online Sports Guys college football podcast featuring us, the Online Sports Guys. And yes, we're going to talk about college football. Lots of things going on here as the clock approaches the new year. We are recording this on a Sunday after the Pop-Tarts Bowl, which we will get into in a minute, along with some coaching moves, and we'll give you a little bit of a look ahead as to what you can expect to happen in the playoff games, which will happen right about the time the clock changes to 2026.
Science!
Guys, it was a busy week. We might as well start off with the big elephant in the room. Michigan found them a head coach, and that coach is Kyle Whittingham, formerly of Utah.
Formerly of being retired.
Formerly of AARP.
I'll ask you the same thing that I thought when I read up on this is, did he really retire, or was he asked to retire? Because
did he retire, or was he retired?
Yes. Didn't take long for him to find his way up to Ann Arbor.
Well, Ann Arbor took a couple swings at the plate and missed and missed and missed and missed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Good on them for getting some nice guys raises, though.
Yes.
I'm just curious, though. There's always a shelf life with a coach, and maybe both parties kind of recognized that the message just wasn't getting across anymore, and that it was time to move on, and they did it in a low-key way. I just think that's the University of Utah's nature and Kyle Whittingham's nature, just to keep it on a low profile and just right off into the sunset. As much as you guys probably talked about Sharon Moore and what he went through and his meltdown after being
what he went through or what he caused?
What he caused, that too.
He was warned multiple times to knock it off.
Mm-hmm.
True.
And when Michigan tells you to get your stuff together.
But my point is, with everything that he caused and the meltdown he had after losing his gig and all the crap that went on after that, for Michigan to have someone like a Kyle Whittingham drop into their lap after he decided to leave tells me that they're living a charmed life, the Michigan team. Sorry, Marty, it's probably as an honest guy, you're going, what the hell is he talking about here?
With admitted bias, nobody was beating down their door. Nobody wants to take a head coaching gig.
My point too. That's a blue blood program that nobody wanted to touch because of what has been transpired the last 15 years.
Right.
And here's Kyle Whittingham, a stand-up guy, proven winner, a guy with a culture, a positive culture, and a guy that kind of embodies Michigan football. Tough running and a tough defense, very physical play. I mean, at Utah, he turned a team that was a program that was more known for its vertical passing game and turned it into an SEC type of team, Big Ten type of team.
And they had a Big Ten type of defense while he was there as well.
Exactly. He falls into Michigan's lap, and now life's good in Ann Arbor. I think it's a home run hire.
Oh, it's a good hire, but I mean, it was getting down to that's what they were going to end up getting because there wasn't a whole lot else available. You got a situation where
what you're going to get at the end of the list.
Well, I mean,
if
kind of the end of the list for them as far as making a hire that's been a head coach before. There's no president of the university. That AD, I do not know how he is still employed.
Yeah, neither do I.
So you're looking at this hire being an interim type hire.
I'll tell you what's probably saving the AD, Manuel, in Michigan is the fact that Dusty May is having a big year in men's basketball, and that was his hire. I think that was
but he had to hire him after another sports scandal.
I look
right.
I think that, and I'm going to go to Sly after this. I think that because he's the other resident B1Ger here. I think the only thing saving Ward Manuel is the HR investigation, frankly. And I think that when that finally happens, that you'll get to the end of that discussion. And I think that when you bring in someone like Kyle Whittingham, he will. And here is how I anticipate the hiring, him winning the press conference. He will be either doing one of two things. He will ride his Harley from his current location across the country in some kind of pseudo appearance recruiting trip to get to Ann Arbor, or he will come to the Chrysler Arena in the Harley and they'll do the whole thing. Or seriously, this it's a new
They'll
era.
do the Undertaker motorcycle ride.
Yeah, I mean,
you watch too much professional wrestling in your life, John.
No such thing, sir.
No
I
such
don't,
thing.
I don't think Nelson's too off here. I can see him doing something like that as well because that's his persona, the tough guy, the motorcycle guy. And look, in the era of the NIL and people moving around, players moving around, this PR stuff like that works as far as building a roster. So I would not be shocked if he did something as let's just say as manly as that.
Yes. All right. The other B1Ger here. What say you, sir?
Yeah, given the timing and the coaching landscape, I don't know if Michigan could have gotten anyone better. At worst, they're going to stabilize the situation there, and whether depending on how long he lasts, they'll be set up for the next person. And as much as I hate to say it, I think they got this right and they got lucky.
They did.
They're living their charm life. Sorry, Marty.
No. I'm not really scared because the mass exodus when the portal opens is going to be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that's not charmed with him is I'm not sure how much he is about the NIL side of things.
Oh,
and with that alumni base and that athletic department, that's where the disharmony has a lot of potential to erupt.
If you take a look at what he's done with limited rosters in Utah,
yeah. I fully agree with that.
I don't think there's going to be a mad rush to the door for people heading out to the portal.
There's people that just want to get out of Michigan. Their top recruit already asked out and might end up at Georgia where he initially committed to. But what I'm saying is he can build with that. But where the friction's going to happen is the alumni that want him to spend a bunch and him not really being about that kind of paying.
Results on the field will show who's right.
They don't. That alumni setup there is something different, and that's where things can get weird.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you've got some pretty high-profile alums that donate to that program. Are going to want some of the five stars that have name recognition already and street cred to wear the maize and blue. Or Kyle Whittingham's a guy that gets the blue-collar guys in the trenches and some really talented and big Samoans as well.
Yeah.
It's going to have to be
Tongans.
that too.
Yeah.
That too. But yeah, I think it's going to be a sell job by Kyle Whittingham to win over those alums. But again, as Phil points out, it's the results on the field and also not being on the scandal sheets, I think would be a help as well. And that's what you're getting with Kyle Whittingham. You get a guy that makes the most with the least, but he's going to have to adjust a little bit and bring some of those guys that have some kind of name recognition from the high school level and the five stars to come in and wear the maize and blue.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if that quarterback Underwood stays around. He's making more than the coach.
He's already said he's not going anywhere.
Which is smart because look at the quarterbacks that Kyle Whittingham has developed on the college level that have the same skill set, and I think it's a good move.
As long as he keeps his new version of Cam Dollar North healthy, then that's a good start.
All right, guys, why don't we move on here? We've got lots of bowl games to talk about.
Yes.
There's only one bowl game that mattered this week.
The People's Champ.
lots of games in front of crowds numbering in the hundreds, maybe thousands at the most. We started on Monday, this past Monday, when Washington State and Utah State squared off. Washington State got the win 34-21. They'll be looking for a new coach, but they got a bowl win.
Hey, the Tupac is undefeated. That's all that matters. They win the conference championship by going 2-0 in bowl games.
1-0.
Whatever.
Only one bowl eligible team in that conference.
That's true. That's right. And then Oregon State was not. That's right. So whatever. They're still undefeated. The Tupac got their one bowl game, so they win.
They opted out by taking L after L after L.
And nothing like going out in a heap of French fries at the Potato Bowl.
But it gets better. Your dunking of the coach gets better as we go here in this segment.
Yeah.
I say combine that with the Mayo Bowl and send it to Canada and dip the fries in mayo.
Or the game that we're going to talk about next briefly, and that's the Bush's Boca Raton Bowl on Tuesday. Louisville gets to win 27
bowl of beans,
Toledo, and a giant vat of beans.
Mm-hmm.
Filled the trophy.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, plane ride home.
Yes, you stole it. You got there before I
Gives
did.
new meaning to the term jet propulsion.
No kidding. Oh my God. I mean, think about it.
Did the air masks
in that plane?
It's because did the oxygen masks deploy prior to takeoff?
Probably.
That was my question.
Oh, it sounds like a bad Mel Brooks skit from.
But that sounds like a good Mel Brooks skit.
No, sorry, that's Blazing Saddles, the football version, sir.
It's been done before, but not on a plane, at a campfire.
You said the plane goes like this.
It's safer without the
Good win for Louisville.
They roll down those windows.
Flight 414, you're not cleared to be taxiing yet. The engines aren't on, sir.
Good win for Louisville. They finished their season with 9 wins. The middle bowl game of the day, Western Kentucky and Southern Miss. Western Kentucky gets the win 27-16 in the New Orleans Bowl.
Good on you. Look, that's how you either much like Sly. That's either how you start your day or you end your day. You go to the New Orleans Bowl. That's how this works.
And the final game on that Tuesday, some MAC action. Ohio gets the win over UNLV 17-10.
So, Marty, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Was more people at the Frisco Bowl than at the Xbox Bowl?
I did not make it to either bowl. My place of employment had we were short on numbers, so I couldn't really get any time off to make that. That's about an hour haul from where I'm at.
Xbox Bowl crowd was pretty impressive.
It's a smaller stadium. It's good that's a good size venue for bowl games that aren't like frontline.
Yeah,
because you can fill it up a lot easier. And then, say what you want about Jerry, he knows how to put on an event. You go out there and there's plenty. Like you take your kids, there's plenty for them to do out front. There's all kinds of distractions for them. They're kicking field goals, running around, grabbing freebies from whatever sponsors they've corralled for it. It's a good time. And then right across the street from the venue, restaurant, hotel physically touching the building. It's a good setup.
There were an awful lot of bowl games that were not very well attended, which we
look, and this is a topic that we're probably going to be getting into as we go here during bowl season. Remember, the attendance figure locally is only a piece of the equation. Bowl game outside of the CFP, bowl game ratings year to year are up 18% going into 2025. So as long as those 3.5-hour infomercials and blocks of programming are still going to be the ratings grabbers that they are, all of this discussion about, oh my God, the sky's falling. That was John Madden at about 78 RPMs.
Was that Nick Cage doing John Madden?
Pretty much. All of these bowl games that we're talking about will still have a shelf life as long as the ratings continue to increase. And
it's not about the gate. It's about the commercial image.
Well, I
Well,
will
and
throw,
well, when you watched Phil, you and I had a vested interest in the '68 Ventures Bowl. Watching the acres and acres of empty seats for two programs that just did not
bad
resonate in
look.
Mobile,
Yeah.
it was an awful look.
Tight shots, nothing but tight shots.
You
Well, and
really need to lower the ticket prices for some of these.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's
Yes.
the other part of it too.
And you
yeah,
also need to hit the high schools and hand out some tickets.
Oh, absolutely.
yeah, and I'll throw this out there as well. While the TV ratings are great, it doesn't matter if you don't have teams to play in the games. And that
Well,
was something that really became a sore spot this year in particular when teams bailed out, and
I
not
blame
just
Notre
Notre
Dame.
Dame. There
I
were
blame Notre Dame.
several teams that
Well,
bailed
Iowa
out.
State and Kansas State too. And the thing is, that's going to be the norm. We're
Mhm.
going to see a lot more of that. And
The lesson learned is never start your season in Dublin.
or
That was their bowl game.
That's not the takeaway that I got from it, but that's okay.
no, that's
All I know is that no college student's going to turn down the Xbox Bowl when they're putting a free Xbox in your locker.
yes, I heard about that.
Ha ha. Oh, wardrobe.
We
change.
just need a PlayStation Bowl, Nintendo Switch Bowl, and
You're
there
good.
we go.
All right, some other games to talk about here. Good game by itself on Wednesday in Hawaii. Hawaii gets the win, basically a home game for the Rainbow Warriors. They beat Cal 35-31 in what turned out to be a pretty damn good game.
It
The
did,
game was
but
good, but who won the post game? They're getting a little scrap after that game.
Yeah, I remember that. But here's the thing: I could not watch the Hawaii Bowl because whoever designed that stadium designed it totally wrong because the sun's coming from the opposite way.
They used the same
And it
design
looked
firm
like
that
John
Jerry
Fox
Jones
out
hired.
there. It looked like John Fox out there. They're all in the witness protection program.
Now,
And after 5 minutes of that, I was like, screw it, I don't care. Cal and
for those not watching the video version of this podcast, John has now changed hats from his Festivus box and is now rocking the Akali Tahi, the Sea Eagles of Tonga.
Right there. I figured. And yeah, go for it, Sly. What's up?
Yeah, if you hear a noise, I'm sitting right by the air conditioner in the room here where the old style is sitting. So if that you hear that ambient noise in the background, that's exactly what it is. But
it's late December, and I'll be thinking you're keeping the old style cold, but
Yeah, I was gonna say what I
probably
like
warming
is
up a little bit.
John
It's
Fox
very-
putting his beer on the air conditioner. He's playing chess while the rest of us are playing checkers.
Correct.
Yes,
it is tropical here in Albany, New York this time of year.
tropical Albany in December.
45 degrees.
You
It
should
was
trade this
9.
shine. You should
It
trade
was
it.
9 last night coming back from the show.
Oh,
Ooh. I was gonna say you should change the shiny shirt for an Aloha shirt.
well, yes. And that is the proper terminology for it. It is an Aloha shirt. It is not a Hawaiian shirt. It is an Aloha shirt.
Well, that's fitting because we're sort of living out right now something resembling Fear and Loathing in Albany. So I don't know if I'm going to make it through this show, but
I'm
the
waiting for the
conditioning's
pattern on
helping.
your shirt to start moving, like in the movie.
Yeah,
It has.
all that's missing is some sparkly lights.
Hey, don't tempt him. He'll do it.
Disco ball.
We move on to Friday's bowl game action.
Friday.
Game above Sports Bowl, and I'm not sure what that is. But
It is
Western-
Game Above is the charitable arm for the holding company that is the market equity firm that Game Above. It's like Game Above is a subsidiary, and it's the charity subsidiary of a holding company, and so they've decided as a part of their diversification to do these kinds of things to help benefit communities. And
Please tell me that the holding company is not called Game Below.
I had to go look it up. No, it's not. No,
And I'm sure the bowl gift was impeccable.
yeah, it was probably
Yes.
a 401k.
Yeah, or cryptocurrency.
That too.
Anyway, your winner in that game, Northwestern, they dominate Central Michigan with a 34-7 win.
Yeah, I mean that's about all we need to say about that one. It was pretty
Yep.
painful. It was
And it was in Detroit.
34-0. It was in Detroit, and that was football on a budget for that week. Yeah.
Your middle game of the day, Minnesota and New Mexico, in a game that went to overtime. Minnesota gets the win 20-17 in the Rate Bowl.
Yeah, that
I
used
want
to
to add that I
be
love the New Mexico uniforms because
the
I like it.
the
Oh, the
turquoise.
turquoise
Watching it with
jersey?
my old
Turquoise.
Miami
Those
Dolphin
are awesome.
uniforms.
The turquoise, they are. I mean, our friend Robert Portnoy, who helps us out on the X when we discuss everything going on in college football, the play-by-play voice of your New Mexico Lobos. We made the point when he was on the X earlier this season that the turquoise is unbeatable. The fact that they've gone back to the turquoise occasionally is fantastic. Market the crap out of it, and I will buy it. I've got enough turquoise from the alma mater, but I will buy turquoise New Mexico stuff all day long. And my question for the B1Gers here, and let me start with you, Sly. How is it that PJ Fleck gets this lucky continually when it comes to these games? Because I have, ever since he left the party of the Macoon and went to the B1G, it's like you get to a certain level and then you're done. And it's like he's like the Dave Doran of the B1G. You get to a certain level and you're good to go.
A slightly flashier version of Dave Doran.
Yeah, the bow tie and the quarter zip pullover. How is PJ Fleck continuing to do this kind of stuff where you get in, you get lucky, and you get a Duke?
Yeah, you went where I was going to go next, where there's this anomaly where PJ Fleck and Ohio U win their bowl games, and I think PJ Fleck, Minnesota's a tough job to consistently win. He's done it there. And I think part of his deal, I mean, as phony as he is, he puts a lot into winning these bowl games because that is sort of can be a calling card for the program that they win consistently, they win their bowl games, they develop because they're not a blue blood in that league, but they're not bad either. So he's just got a nice kind of like what we said with NC State, Dave Doran over the past few weeks. They're there. They're consistently decent. He keeps his job, and he's got it. It's working. So they're way better than look at some of the.
They're way better than they were before he arrived.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Now the slightly above average university.
I mean, his battle call is just to be better than Northwestern, and with the type of player he recruits, and that he's able to get with what they have to work with NIL wise, is the type of player that stays there. That's not really leaving every season to take the next NIL deal, which puts him at a slight advantage when it gets to bowl games. Because as far as NCAA football goes, he has less opt-outs in his bowl games than most.
Yeah.
And that helps.
Mm-hmm.
You take a look at some of those games, they had 20 players not playing.
The C+ of college football programs.
Yeah. C's get degrees.
Mm-hmm.
And the final game on Friday night, UT San Antonio and Florida International in the Serve Pro First Responder Bowl. The Roadrunners ran like Roadrunners. They won the highest scoring game by a team in a bowl game so far this season. They beat Florida International 57-20.
Well, I mean,
At Gerald Ford.
Well, yes, and this is another part of the Brother Marty Bowl extravaganza that is there in the Metroplex. I mean, this game was pretty much treated as a bowl game by I think Willie Simmons. And if you look at their efficiency numbers on 3rd and 4th down, I think if I remember correctly, I've got to look this up because the number and I want to build to my particular statistic here. First and foremost, UTSA putting 57 up on a bowl game. You give them full credit for that. But you look at the efficiency numbers for the games themselves, and I'll build backward. Why not? They were 2 of 10 on 4th down. 2 of 10 on 4th. Basically, it was YOLO. It literally was for FIU. Sorry if you're our punter, but you ain't getting any reps. And I mean, legitimately,
you know how to punt. We're going to try something else.
Yeah, it's like, no, just go stand over there and kind of look the part. 3rd down efficiency for I was giving them too much credit. So 3rd down efficiency in the game, Texas San Antonio was 4 for 12. Okay, that's about normal. Third down efficiency for FIU, 6 of 18.
Yeah, that was bad.
Fourth down efficiency, they were 1 for 10. I gave them too much credit because Texas San Antonio was 2 for 2. So I think that Willie Simmons and FIU treated the bowl game like a bowl game. It just looks like, he Leroy Jenkins his way through third and fourth down. It didn't.
They had a good time.
Yeah, and I mean, look, it was tied at 14 after 1. That's what you were. You was tied at 14 after 1. So you got in this bowl game of one that was 7 and 5, and one that was 6 and whatever. So if you lose, you were 7 and 5 and 6 and 6. So this is what you're getting in this bowl game. You're getting teams that are getting those extra practices in. You're trying to sit there and be a showcase, and that's the other part that these bowl games are. These bowl games that aren't part of the CFP. They're showcases to try and attract talent. But Willie Simmons is just like, after 14, you're tied at 14 after 1. You get outscored 43-6
Wow.
in the final 3 quarters of this game. So he Leroy Jenkins his way through this one, and it ended up being Price's Right loser horn by the time he was done.
Well, after the first quarter, FIU is just, not the same team.
Exactly. It's just like, we're good. But yeah, look, this is an example of what bowl games can be and should be in some instances. A calling card for your university, calling card for your philosophy, and then just YOLOing your way through it. So, I mean, it was what it was. But I give Texas San Antonio a boatload of credit, but just the third and fourth down efficiency for FIU was staggeringly bad in this game. And what if you're a punter? If you're a punter and FIU comes knocking on your door, you sit there. It's like, well, then what was this? Oh no, sorry, that was just one. That was a one-off. Sorry, that was just one. That was just a bowl game.
That was bull.
Yeah,
our punter was nicked up. We don't want to risk it.
Yeah, we didn't want to do 1 for 10 on fourth down. Yeah.
Saturday was the busy day. We had 8 bowl games.
We did.
Some good, some not so good, some exciting, some good sleeping material. We'll start, and I'll get to the one that we're going to all want to talk about in a minute.
Champ is here.
We'll start with one of the first games of the day in a snowy Yankee Stadium.
Miserable conditions.
Which was the setting for what was. I watched part of this, and it was brutally bad.
I watched it too.
It was bad.
Penn State gets the win over Clemson 22-10 in a game that I just wish wasn't played because it was ugly.
It was very ugly,
and
we had some vested interest in that game too because my sister-in-law was leaving here to fly into LaGuardia.
Oh, good luck on that.
And well, she actually made it in.
Wow.
With a 45-minute delay.
Yeah.
But look, after watching that game, I kind of feel like Clemson's at a crossroad right now.
Yeah.
It was just not a good look for them in the bowl game. And this season has been not a good look at all for the Tigers. And I am just wondering, we talked about Kyle Whittingham and his message starting to get a little diluted after many years as a high character guy that Dabo Sweeney is, and a guy that has actually made it a point that he wants to protect the game of college football. I'm just wondering if the message is just not being received the way it used to be. And is he still getting the quality of player to come in, not only to come in, but to retain them? And I just feel that program's at a crossroads right now as to whether they're going to adapt to the changes or stick with what has been their success for the last 15, 20 years and watch that program kind of slowly decline into mediocrity. And that game to me just epitomized that there's some changes that need to be done within the facility, within that program, for that message to that entire coaching staff needs to, in that program, needs to kind of rebuild their message as to you're going to have to accept the changes and start, and maybe they just don't have the money or the alumni base to do that. I mean, that remains to be seen, but I think that's a program at a crossroads.
Dabo Swinney with a Messiah complex. Imagine that.
Well, and it looked like, and Sly, I don't know what condition you were in, or if you were in concert prep or what, but it looked like you had two teams. I can't remember the last time that Clemson played north of the Mason-Dixon line, and you had literally there was this one.
They go to Boston every now and then.
Yeah, they play Boston.
Okay.
Boston.
All right,
They'll go to Pitt. I mean,
that's
not a big deal.
Okay, so all right, so fine. I'll qualify it. December. In December, they north of the Mason-Dixon line. There was this one cutaway early where it looked like, and it might have been after the worst fake punt execution in recent history. It looked like Dabo Swinney was miserable, and you were thinking that maybe the conditions were only a part of it, and it was just two teams that didn't really look like they wanted to be there. And then it rolled around to the fourth quarter, and it was like, oh, one of us probably should win this thing so we don't have to go to overtime on a tie score and continue to be out here in the Bronx. The snowdrifts were fantastic. It was great visuals. And the idea that
for the handful of people that went.
No, actually, I mean, Lower Bowl was actually pretty filled.
Yeah, it was pretty well attended.
So, I mean, if you're looking at, it wasn't, 40,000, but if it was 20 or 25, then fine. And they brought their bands and everything, and it was great. But it just looked like two teams that wanted nothing to do with that environment there in the Bronx. And, it's like, can we be someplace else other than here? And it was a painful watch for 3 quarters. And then when they finally found their offense, the fourth quarter was a nice watch. But unfortunately, you had to go 2.5 hours before you got to that particular point.
Stop playing bowl games in baseball stadiums.
Jeez. We were driving during that game, and I think the two of you have illustrated the Clemson side very well. And we turned it on, and believe it or not, Jack Ham is still doing the color commentary for Penn State football.
Wow.
Still alive?
Yes, and Penn State, I'll take the Penn State angle. I mean, they've survived a horrible season, but they're in a much better place going forward than Clemson is. I mean, Matt Campbell's a good
Matt
coach.
Campbell coming in, of course they are.
Yeah, so it just depends for Penn State what the expectation is for the program overall, and if it's realistic, I think they'll be fine. The program is in decent shape, but yeah, maybe they didn't want to be there, but 7-6, considering the disasters that happened in the middle of the year, I think they can move forward. I don't know about Clemson though.
I listened to most of this game from our friend Don Munson and Tim Beret on the Clemson radio network, and they didn't want to be there. At least they sounded like they didn't want to be there.
Because it was open air. It's an open air press box.
Yeah, that weather's not something they normally have to deal with during the baseball season.
I'd love to see their pictures from that game.
God, if Timbo took pictures, please post them.
Yes,
you can't even see their headsets. They got a park over top of it.
I have to check his social media site because he does a good job at that.
The other game that may have set college football back a few years, Virginia and Missouri squaring off in the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville. Virginia gets the win 13-7.
Yeah, that was not good football.
Remember, that used to be a good bowl game.
Yeah.
And so now, speaking of which, here's my question. The Gator Bowl is now to the point to where the Gator is not even a part of the logo anymore.
No.
I mean, that's where that bowl game has gone.
That bowl game has just declined pretty much.
Somebody's asleep at the wheel there.
That used to be, a great bowl to watch. But you're right. I mean, it was a hard game to watch. Happy for Virginia and for Tony Elliott after what that program's been through the last few years.
Yeah.
And to get an ACC runner-up and a bowl victory and 11 wins. I think that is a huge accomplishment for that program. Missouri, I was vomiting watching their effort. I mean, it was just not good. Not what I expected.
But they're an SEC team.
I expected from Eli Drinkwitz's team. I mean, 3 of 12 on third downs, 0 of 3 on fourth downs. Come on. And Virginia's defense, while okay,
isn't that good.
Isn't that good?
I saw the opening of that game, and they're saying how they had like the best running back room in the SEC.
Mott Hardy, yeah. But not so fast, my friend, when it comes to game 13.
Indeed. Speaking of SEC teams, another one goes down in flames as Houston beats LSU 38-35 in the Kinder's Texas Bowl.
Well, but I think that this
Great game.
Yeah,
I loved it.
and that's the thing.
Yeah.
I think that we have other bowl games here that we're going to talk about that we're not in Tucson, Arizona. No offense, Snoop D-O-double. But you had bowl games that personified what these games should be. And we talked about it a little bit with what we saw with Texas San Antonio, but this is one of those games on Saturday, and this is one of those games during bowl season that should be what this is all about. And you go to NRG and you have a game like this where you're scoring 73 points and it's all over the place, and that kind of chaos, that's what reminds us. I feel like I'm standing on a platform. That's what reminds us about what's fun about all these bowl games. When you have a game like this, when you have people who work between the ears. Hey, what's going to work for us in our geographic footprint? Hey, we're in Texas. Why don't we bring the University of Houston in, where they play womp womp every third down and 4. And you bring
LSU, who's only about 4 hours away.
Right. So you bring in something akin to an economic driver where folks are going to be driving into town. You've got a home game for one of them. You bring in LSU, which is a rabid fan base for another. This was a good programming work by the folks at the Texas Bowl. This worked really well, and it was plotted out nicely, and you end up with a game of chaos, and that's what you're looking for in these situations.
You had two Bayou schools going against each other, and usually the rule of thumb back in the day was you don't want the home school playing in your bowl game. But when you bring an LSU in that's going to travel like crazy, and you bring they're not necessarily rivals, but they're in the region exactly. What helped is this was a game of big play after big play after big play, and the offense has put on a show, and I think Lane Kiffin's going to have some good things to work with when he gets his meat hooks on that program. And Willie Fritz has definitely got that program, Houston, in a good spot right now. You had two teams loaded with speed and showed it off throughout the game. This was the most fun one to watch last week.
I'll say one
and it kicked off at 9:15 Eastern.
Yeah, I'll say one of. Yeah, you had
one of, because the Isleta, New Mexico Bowl.
Yes. Yeah, wait. I do got to take one shot at Lane Kiffin while we brought him up.
All right.
Instead of paying 10 cents for the bag, when he went grocery shopping, he stole a basket. What's he getting paid at LSU?
Yeah.
Goodness
He's
gracious.
still making money off Ole Miss if they keep winning in the playoff.
Yeah.
LSU just paid him $250,000 for Ole Miss winning a game, and he won't pay 10 cents for a bag, and instead steals from a grocery store.
Sounds like he was shopping at Aldi too.
Yeah.
But enough about that. How about the North Texas San Diego State game?
How about North Texas and San Diego State?
How about the both teams? The beginning of that game, 0 F's given. Everybody was just going for it. Hey, how many trick plays haven't we run yet? Let's use them all.
49-47, the final score in that game. That was fantastic.
That was a great watch.
I mean,
Too bad it was on the CW.
But I mean, no, that was the DOW.
Hey, I am all for any bowl game that ESPN doesn't have.
Well, and I mean,
it's a trade-off if you get to watch a game, if you get to see a game played like this one was.
Well, and this was what we've been hyping up North Texas all year, and rightfully so. #GMG. This was that exit interview for Drew Mestemaker and Caleb Hawkins and everyone else and Coach Morris and everyone else that's going to be portaling to Stillwater. Drew Mestemaker, 27 of 47, 253 and 2. Caleb Hawkins, 30 carries, 198 and 2 touchdowns.
Nice.
You had 618 net offensive yards for North Texas in this game. San Diego State, on the other side, had 532 net yards of offense. So that's what? 1,150 total yards of offense.
This sounds like a Big 12 game of old.
That had 96 points in it, and finished up with San Diego State scoring 27 fourth quarter points.
Only to come up just a little bit short.
Darn on that
San
one.
Diego State's not a program that's been known for their defense.
No.
And when's the last time North Texas had a decent defense? Back when Joe Green played for them? Back in the 60s?
That might be true, but still, if you have a team in San Diego State that doesn't have a good defense, that goes up against North Texas, #GMG, that goes up against this offense, of course you're going. This was one of the easiest plays on the board to take the total.
Oh, God.
Take the total, whatever it was. They got their third quarter.
And as far as we talked about opt-outs, the only player for the main starter for the Mean Green that didn't play was injured.
Yeah.
And he was on the sideline. So that's
the way that it's supposed to be.
Yes.
I'm going to go quickly through these other couple of games before we get to the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Fresno State beats Miami of Ohio 18-3 in the Snoop Dogg Bowl, where Snoop recovered a kickoff.
Yeah, it was a good
mid-interview, by the way.
Good focus on mid-interview, where literally he gets after it and he pops it up into the air to himself and he catches the kickoff for a touchback. I mean, good on you. Well done.
Army with an easy win over UConn 41-16 in the Wasabi Fenway Bowl.
And another place that looked miserable.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was in fact Fenway, and so what I'd like in the Fenway in the future is the arena
not
football.
To have it there.
Well, but I mean, but if you kick it into the Green Monster, it's like arena football. You hit it off of the Green Monster and it bounces back in play, and it's a free ball for anybody. That to me would be fun.
That would make it a lot
great
more
way
fun.
to start off the game.
And the all name team for us, by the way, God's Power and Wawehe, 171 yards rushing for Army in that game. So God's Power, that's one of the best first names I've heard in quite some time. God's Power and Wawehe.
That arguably beats lunch. And the last game I'm just going to mention here, East Carolina gets a win over Pitt, 23-17, and
Pitt didn't want to be there.
Military Bowl.
Pitt didn't want to be there, and I give East Carolina credit for going back to the aerodynamic wind tunnel ECU and the old uniform look where you had the name font larger than the number font. So that they went old school. They looked like they didn't want to be there till the fourth quarter, and then they won. So there you go.
And the final bowl game that we're going to talk about.
Yes.
The Pop-Tarts Bowl, the one bowl game that gets the marketing right. In every way, shape, and form, despite the mascot cannibalism. BYU gets a late win over Georgia Tech, 25-21. It ended up being a pretty good game.
Oh, absolutely it was.
And, of course, the mascot sacrifice at the end.
What about the mascot Hall of Fame introduction at the beginning?
Of course.
Oh, gold jacket ceremony with the Pop-Tarts of the past.
Well,
a Pop-Tart that I want to see if they had drug testing for these mascots, because that one, the protein-powered Pop-Tart, the pipes on him, I'm not sure those were natural.
No.
I did like his weights, though. If you looked closely when he was over there lifting weights, the ends of his dumbbells were toasters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do like the Pop-Tart that was trying to grill other Pop-Tarts, too.
Yes, that was my favorite one.
I mean, look.
You know what I'm going to do after I'm done editing this podcast? I've got a grill in the backyard and some Pop-Tarts in the pantry.
See? All right, so Sly, you were driving early in the day. Where were you late in the day?
So the band Mo decided this year just to do one show during the holiday season in Albany, basically a home show, and most of the degenerates within a certain radius of the band, known as Morons, including us, descended upon Albany for one night. And as you can see, I was unable to change out of the shirt from the show last night. So
why would you?
Does that mean we need to wrap up the show so you can go to bed?
I probably have to drop because they're kicking us out of the hotel. But along those lines, I will say about the Snoop Dogg Bowl is that there's an unconfirmed rumor that the players and fans all went to the concession stand and loaded up on indica for the game, which accounted for the very pedestrian score.
They were distracted.
Yeah.
Oh, the consumption.
Speaking of concessions for the Pop-Tart Bowl, they were doing Pop-Tart nachos with the mini
Oh no.
Pop-Tarts.
No.
No, they weren't nachos. They were
But
small Pop-Tarts put in with different sauces.
Oh.
I hope that doesn't constitute as jumping.
No,
the
it
shark
wasn't
in the
cheese or
Pop-Tart
anything like
world.
that. We're talking like, strawberry syrup toppings.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have to be a breakfast type item in order to
Their
work.
Twitter account is a solid follow, even if you didn't watch the game.
Legitimately, for those of you that subscribe to The Athletic, Stuart Mandel did a great piece describing the play-by-play of them coming up with Pop-Tarts and Cheez-It are owned by the same corporate overlord. And so when Cheez-It was ending their sponsorship, they went across the hall, knocked on the door, and basically said, hey, yo, would you be interested in being the sponsor for this? And so they thought it through, and it goes through the play-by-play of trying to come up with all of the different elements that you see in this broadcast. And so literally the idea that as a part of the Pop-Tart DNA that they want to be eaten, this is their desire to be sacrificed and to be eaten part of the dynamic. Except for one, which now has its own origin story and will carry the Pop-Tarts Bowl momentum throughout an entire 360-something days of, okay, why did this particular Pop-Tart flee? But why did it not want to be a part of the process? That is now one of the larger questions that we will have, and it will be to the challenge of the Pop-Tarts Bowl to carry the momentum of a fleeing Pop-Tart for 365 days to find out what is this particular Pop-Tart going to be sacrificed in the opening moments of the 2026 version? Is it going to be
if he hasn't expired by then?
Is it going to Is this going to be like The Fugitive?
Or Pop-Tart on the Run just doesn't lyrically make as much sense for a song.
But I mean,
go Tart on the Run, then you're okay.
The product changed its tagline because of the bowl game. Mm-hmm. The first year it went over so well, they changed the Pop-Tart tagline to Crazy Good because the Pop-Tarts acted crazy.
Mm-hmm. And
that is doing a game right.
Yes.
It changed how they market their product.
And don't think for a second.
I'll drink to that.
Yeah, and don't think for a second that they're not trying to figure out how to best what they've done in these 3 years. That first year that they had the Pop-Tart sacrifice, 7 billion impressions on social media.
I have a question to the floor.
Sure. And give it.
How do you explain this to a
Sly first, because he's got to get kicked out of the hotel.
How do you explain this to a young 6 or 7 year old kid watching a Pop-Tart getting toasted and then eaten live on the field?
Sly?
I would again direct him to the Snoop Dogg Bowl that Pop-Tarts after the indica, I think is the perfect combination. I think that's even for a 6 or 7 year old, they should be introduced to that.
They're eating the Pop-Tarts and the Cheez-Its.
Yeah. So I mean,
and a Toasties Bowl.
Legitimately, what you're doing is you're taking what that 6 or 7 year old is experiencing at breakfast, you're amplifying it, and you're sitting there, and it's going so over the top that the experience that 6 or 7 year old.
Why are they eating the mascot?
You're well, son or daughter, you're doing the same thing. You're just doing it at home. They're doing it in front of a national television audience. And the sacrifice of the Pop-Tart has gone from something that has just been on, how the 4-letter will take the trophy presentation and will do it, on driving folks to their online chapter. It has gone from there in year one to the network, the big ABC, waiting for the moment to happen when you even have a faulty toaster like you had this year. It is on big ABC. It has gone from being online to waiting for this whole presentation to wrap up. That is what they have done in this brilliance of marketing for this bowl game.
I mean, I have a nephew who just wants to know where he can find Pop-Tarts that big.
I mean,
Yeah.
You need to put that size at Sam's Club and see what happens.
Oh my God. If you did that in December as a lead into the bowl game, get your life-size matching Pop-Tart. You just
picture throwing a party to watch the Pop-Tart bowl, having a Pop-Tart the size of your coffee table in front of the TV.
This is what I'm saying. Look, Weber Shandwick and the Pop-Tarts folks should be paying us money. They need to sponsor us now.
I'd be live streaming the food challenge of
we
trying
are
to finish
workshopping their 2026 campaign right now.
Guys,
we need to make this 2 wishes, though. We need to make, if they expand the playoffs, this needs to be a bowl game.
Absolutely.
That is one of the playoff games. And no more baseball
not the title game.
And no more baseball stadium bowl games. I'm sorry.
Agreed. Guys, we've droned on for almost an hour here in the first half of the show.
We have not droned on, sir.
When we come back in the second half of the show, we're going to kind of put a wrap on bowl season, as most of the bowl games will be done by the end of next week. And we'll talk a little bit about the college football playoff, all that and more when we return for the second half of the review. You are listening to the review on the OSG Sports Podcasting Network.
Please like and subscribe. And tip your old stuff.
Over here in the OSG Sports side of things, we talk football. Football. College football version here with the College Football Review every single week. But for those of you that like not just football with 2 O's, but football with a U, Futbol, there's the Soccer Down Here Network. I'm John Nelson. I host the morning show on Soccer Down Here along with Jarrett Smith, Nick Alifi, Jason Longshore. And if you're looking for the best information when it comes to the world of soccer, based in the southeastern United States, but we don't leave anything off the table. 9:05 Eastern time until 11 whenever. Sometimes we go for a while. SDH Network morning show, soccer's morning show, Monday through Friday, plus all the live events we do. It is your place and your source for soccer that is based in the Southeast, but covers everything on the world. SoccerDownHere.net, the Soccer Down Here app, available iOS and Android through our friends at Spreaker. That's like speaker with an R in the middle. Spreaker, do a search for OSG Sports, do a search for Soccer Down Here. All the soccer content all in one place. It is the SDH Network and Soccer Down Here.
Thanks for sticking around, folks. You have made it to the second half of the show. And in this part of the show, we're going to talk a little bit about the rest of the bowl season, a whole slew of ball games over the course of the week in the college football playoff.
Wow.
We're going to start off with the first game of the week, a game that has some impact on me. Georgia Southern and Appalachian State, 2 dreaded, hated rivals squaring off in Birmingham at the J-Lab Bowl.
Clean old-fashioned hate. This is old SoCon stuff.
It's not clean.
Oh, it's
just plain hate.
This is a good 1AA
yes
national championship game.
Yes.
And I'm sure it's going to draw a little bit of a crowd in Birmingham, too. So
yeah.
God,
Right now, you could get tickets to that game as low as $35 at Protective Stadium in Birmingham.
Go. This is going to be a fun crowd. This is going to be a hot crowd. And I give it, look, I will venture to say that you won't get through pregame warmups without a coming together on the headphones logo at the 50 at the Protective. I don't think you're going to get to kickoff without the 2 teams sitting there and taking swings at each other and doing that. It's going to be a fun one. As we're talking, Georgia Southern 8.5, 58.5. I don't know if they get to the 8.5. I don't know if they get to the 58.5. But no, this one will be fun because it's just flat old 1AA hatred in Birmingham.
And of course, take
There it is.
Your Tuesday games kick off with a triple header games. Your first game at the Radiance Technologies Independence Bowl, which is a far cry from the Poulan Weed Eater Bowl that it used to be. Coastal Carolina and Louisiana Tech.
Yeah,
Getting price
Home
for
game
that one.
for home game for the Bulldogs.
exactly.
Yep.
Mhm.
You can
Enough
find
said.
tickets to that game if you wanted to make the trip out to Shreveport as low as $20.
Well, if anybody, I've been to the Independence Bowl. It's not worth $20.
No.
I'm probably going to pass on this game.
Let's see. So
It's going to dip before kickoff.
Oh, it will absolutely.
Yeah.
I went to
Shreveport.
the one with Michigan State and LSU with Blaine McAllister at quarterback throwing to Andre Rison.
Ooh,
Ooh,
And
I was at the 91 one with Arkansas and
bad
Georgia.
moon.
yeah, and it was that the stadium that was, you want to talk about a hot crowd. Everybody went from Red Stick and they went to the Shreveport, and all the Michigan State folks thought it was a trip down south where they could get warm. No, that was
No.
not the case. That was not going to happen. Louisiana Tech 9.5 and 51.5. But yeah, I think it's a home game for the Bulldogs. And when everybody remembers how to pronounce Joe IA and then
No, but
spell
you,
it, it'll be
you
fine.
the show.
And that atmosphere at that stadium is like a bad county fair. The only thing's missing is the corn dogs and the games that rip you off. So
They lost a mascot from Air Force in that game one year. But basically, the Falcon left the stadium and they had to go to downtown Shreveport to find it.
That's
Didn't want to
amazing.
know part of the game either.
hell out of there.
No, done. The Falcon pregame does its little bit where it flies in front of the Air Force section. It left the stadium and they had to literally track it down in downtown because it had flown so far that it tired itself out, and they found it in downtown Shreveport.
Your middle game on Tuesday, Tennessee and Illinois at Nissan Stadium in Nashville.
Sure.
Home game for the Vols.
Yes, true.
Potentially could
Home
be a good
game-ish.
it could be a fun game to watch, but how many have opted out of that game from both teams? So we're gonna get to see some second stringers show off. So I'll give it a token watch.
Eon.
Yeah, 2.5, 61.5. It's probably on in the room, and that's about it.
Yeah, your lowest price ticket for that one you can get in the door for as low as $42.
There's a better game in Nashville at the end of the week. Don't go to that one.
And then your final game on that Tuesday, USC and TCU, the acronym bowl or the Valero Alamo Bowl, depending on your point of view. 9 o'clock kickoff on ESPN. You can get in the door at the Alamo Dome there in San Antonio for as low as $53 if you want to go.
Yeah, have fun.
Still feels high.
Yeah, 6.5, 55.5. Yeah, I figured.
How's it that low with TCU's such a short drive to there?
Nope, not happening.
No interest.
Let's get to the real ones.
Yeah, what your New Year's Eve games kick off at noon with Iowa and Vanderbilt squaring off in their ReliaQuest Bowl in Tampa's Raymond James Stadium.
Yeah. Vandy 4.5, 46.5, and get in price of $61 at the Pirate Ship. 46.5. I got to go over. I think that we've seen Iowa score. We've seen Iowa actually put points on the board. So I think it goes over. And Vandy at 4.5. I don't know if it gets to the 4.5. I'll take Iowa. Give me the points. I'll take Iowa, but I take the over.
All the players for Vandy playing?
Yeah, well, and this is also a professional student, Diego Pavia's last game until he comes back again.
Until this lawsuit gets resolved.
All right, so you got name recognition in this one. I'll watch it, and I think Vanderbilt wins quite easily.
Yeah.
I also think some of the guys on Iowa's defense watched how fun Diego was leading up to the Heisman, and they might be a little motivated to go after.
Yeah, I'm thinking just a bit.
Yeah, he kind of showed his ass quite a bit that week.
Yeah, he did.
Your 2 o'clock kickoff, the Sun Bowl in El Paso, Texas. Arizona State and Duke at the appropriately named Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl. You're getting Price in the West Texas town of El Paso, $28.
No word on whether or not anybody fell in love with a Mexican girl, but nighttime.
Check out the Steve Martin version of that. Do yourself a favor.
Yes.
Go on YouTube. Check out Steve Martin's music video for that.
It's worth a
It
token
has
watch.
monkeys.
Yeah, I
Worth
mean,
a token watch.
Duke is 349.5. I don't know.
ASU's got nobody playing for him.
Yeah, so let's go Duke in that one.
The middle game of the day, the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl, Michigan and Texas. That on ABC.
The we lost to Ohio State Bowl.
If you really want to go, you can get tickets as low as $35 at Camping World Stadium in beautiful.
All right, what
Atlanta,
kind of
Georgia.
Michigan team are we going to see?
That's a good question. You could say the same thing
Because
really
they could
about
go
Texas,
either
the
way.
they played this year.
Yeah, but with Michigan, it could go either way. They could just get hit in the mouth and just say, "Oh, screw it, we're done for the year," or they'd be full of emotion and what else going on, and they're gonna just kick the hell out of Texas. Because I'm not sure what Texas's interest is in this bowl game either. Maybe they do, I don't know, but that's kind of a schizophrenic Michigan team. What are we gonna get?
My
So
dog has a stuck barking today.
I mean, it's good that we're going to see Anthony Carter at wide receiver, and it's good that we're going to have Earl Campbell at tail for Texas. I'm looking forward to this one, and those two probably would make the game more watchable in their current state.
not to mention Johnny Ham and Johnny Lamb Jones.
Yes. So
Brad
this,
Shearer running the defense.
I mean, literally, 1978. This would be a fantastic game that should be played on New Year's Day.
Oh yeah, that's a Cotton Bowl matchup right there.
Yeah. So in 2025, not so much.
Moving on down the list, a 3:30 kickoff on ESPN, Nebraska and Utah in Las Vegas at the SRS Distribution Bowl.
Meh.
Tickets start at $69 for that game.
Utah 2-touchdown favorite, 50.5. I don't know if we get to the 2 touchdowns, but no, not really.
And then there's the game one of the quarterfinal round of the college football playoff. Miami and Ohio State at Jerry World. Right now, believe it or not, you can actually get tickets for that for as low as $62.
Yep. Miami fans are the worst.
I second that.
Do they really
Seriously.
think they're going to lose?
How do you not support your team when they're in a playoff game? That is just sad.
Because they think they're going to be in the title game. That's why.
It's
They're
not
saving them
exactly.
money.
It's not an inexpensive thing to do.
No. My question to you, Marty, is where's your seats?
I have to work. They're going to some friends of the family.
But you
Seats
will be
right
wearing
around
that
the end zone.
Scarlet. Ohio State's in town, and that takes priority. Okay,
I mean,
I get it.
Well, I like to keep my insurance. And as somebody who excels at live video production, my talents are needed at the drone and firework extravaganza that will be in downtown Dallas.
Ohio State 9.5.
Congratulations.
40.
Yeah.
As long as you wear
I
your
called them.
scarlet
That's
and
the
gray.
reason they're going to the Cotton Bowl, because that game was on Eve instead of New Year's Day, and I'm working.
Ohio State 9.5, 42.5. That total seems really low to me.
It does, but remember what happened to Miami in the first round, where they won 10-3 over Texas A&M.
Yeah, so Marty, can you do the rest of the nation a favor and take care of business?
I hope so. Because if they have a quarterfinal game, I mean a semifinal game, and only 15 people show up, this is going to look like an Ohio State home game.
Side shots. Side shots.
Yeah, Ohio State should be favored in this game. I think they'll win it.
Yeah, they're going to win it, but this is a game that's probably going to be 17-3 or 14-6. I mean, touchdowns are going to come at a premium. The thing is, Ohio State is just, I think it's going to wear down Miami because of their depth. And it's just going to be a grinding type game. This game should not be played on AstroTurf. It should be played on grass, outdoors in 30 below weather.
Yes.
You have two things to look at with this game, though, with Ohio State. You have the right guard had to get surgery, So he's
Right.
out, and they're not quite sure who's starting in his place, if they're going to do like last year and platoon it. And after the last showing against Indiana, with Brian Hartline taking a head coaching job, he's been relieved of play calling duties, and Ryan Day will be calling the plays
Uh-oh.
for this bowl game.
Hmm.
He's he's got a decent reputation as an offensive mind.
We'll see how that goes.
And-
Thursday brings us a full day of college football playoff action, starting with the Orange Bowl, Oregon and Texas Tech. This may be the opposite of the Miami-Ohio State game in terms of scoring.
52.5. Are you serious? 52.5 for a total? Oregon's at 2.5 and 52.5. Seriously.
Take the over.
Oh my God, take the over.
Unless they know something we don't know.
I would stick with the even where it is or even the under, because look, Texas Tech's got an elite defense.
True.
And I'm not sure Oregon has faced the physicality that Texas Tech brings on that front seven.
Yeah.
That to me is going to be the telltale sign of this game. If Texas Tech is able to get pressure on the quarterback, have a decent pass rush, they're awesome as far as stopping the run. In fact, they're the top defense in the country that's stopping the run. Then I think if you bet the under, it's a pretty safe bet.
Yeah, but has Texas Tech played this kind of offense? This caliber offense?
They face the style of the offense.
Yeah, the style, but did they have a style included with a stack of players?
Dante Moore's a pretty darn good quarterback.
Dante Moore is a good quarterback, but again, I've been really impressed with Texas Tech. To me, they are kind of that team that can make a deep run into the championship game for how they're built. And if the old adage, a defense wins championship, is still resonating in 2025, 2026, Texas Tech is your team. So we'll see how it plays out. But I really like the way that defense, especially if they can get pressure on Dante Moore, and if they stop the run like they've been doing all year, that's going to really put Oregon in a bind as far as the passing game. And I really like Texas Tech in this one in a low-scoring game.
Yeah, I like Tech to win this game too. I think it's going to be an interesting matchup. Oregon, I've seen play a couple times. I've not been impressed.
Me either. But I would like to see a lot of Big Ten teams in the semifinals just to make ESPN sad.
Yeah.
But I have liked what I've seen with Texas Tech. I'm taking Texas Tech in this game as well. Your middle game of the day, another really interesting matchup. Alabama and Indiana squaring off at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena.
Please do the world a public service and have Indiana win this game and win it largely.
Mm-hmm.
I have a sneaking suspicion they will, because Alabama is just one-dimensional on offense.
Mm-hmm.
They got no running game, and the thing about Indiana is, man, they make the plays when they have to.
Mm-hmm.
Again, they look like the most complete team out there. And think about Indiana beating Ohio State to win the conference, and now they play in the Rose Bowl to play Alabama. Talk about precedent setting for that program. If they can get the win, which I think they will, and I think I don't think it's going to be a cakewalk at the beginning, but I think the final score will indicate it was a cakewalk for Indiana. Because again, Alabama is just way too one-dimensional offense.
Yeah, I agree with Wilkie. I like Indiana in this game. I think Alabama's been way too inconsistent this year, and they do have some flaws that
They shouldn't have been in the playoffs anyway.
They can be exposed real quickly and real easily by a good team, and I think Indiana.
They're about to be.
I don't want to know about Alabama being exposed, sir.
Your mind is in the wrong place, John Nelson.
And isn't that how Michigan lost a coach?
The final game of the evening, Ole Miss and Georgia playing in the Sugar Bowl
Brutal.
in New Orleans.
Mm.
That one, if you want to go see that, it's going to cost you at least $231.
No shock. No shock at all.
You got two SEC teams playing in New Orleans.
Yeah. Yeah, you're going to have more.
Good ones.
You're going to have
I
more
can see
people.
why it's $300.
You're going to have more people going to New Orleans than you will capacity in the Superdome.
Oh, no
Oh,
doubt.
I mean, look, that is how you look, and this is New Year's night in New Orleans with two SEC teams. How do you think this is going to be? You can charge whatever the hell you want for the hotel rooms. You're gonna go through the weekend, and look, the city of New Orleans ain't gonna be hurting for revenue after as a part of this game being plugged in for the Sugar Bowl.
Having been in New Orleans to cover several Sugar Bowls, it's
You say three of us have done it together once or twice.
6.5, 55.5. I don't know if we get to the 55.5.
I think we do.
I think we do too.
And then
This is the game with the last team that makes an explosive play wins. That's how potent their offenses are. If Georgia can force some third and longs, which that defense has done throughout the year, on Ole Miss, I give the slight edge to Georgia there. But to me, whoever makes the last explosive play wins this one.
I just want to see Ole Miss win, so they got to pay Lane Kiffin another bonus for not coaching yet.
It would be kind of funny. I think Ole Miss might be a little bit outmanned in this game. Georgia's deep.
I think if you turn Trinidad Chambliss into a one-dimensional quarterback, figure out how you want him to beat you.
Mm-hmm.
Take that away. So
these two teams have already played this season, so they have some idea what they're looking at.
Yeah, I don't anticipate a game though pushing 70 points or whatever, but
no.
I think Georgia takes care of business.
Ole Miss is going to be motivated though.
True, no doubt. That is absolutely
yeah, and they're going to want to create some chaos too.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of like Ole Miss in this one, simply on the emotional side.
Sure.
So yeah, that's the big reason why I'm kind of favoring Ole Miss. But again, to me, the last team that makes an explosive play wins this game. But I kind of like Ole Miss.
That wraps up a busy Thursday of college football action. We'll finish things off with games on January 2nd. Games that got moved because college football playoff wanted the day all to themselves. The Armed Forces Bowl, Rice and Texas State.
I'm going to try to make that one if I can get out of work.
There you go. Texas State 13.5, 58.5. Get in price is $63. I mean, this Texas State was another pass through for TJ Finley. I would anticipate that you're going to have a lot of points in this one because Texas State known for their offense. This might be another one of those YOLO games with a 1:00 kick, a noontime local kick on a Friday. So I'll take Rice because I don't like that 13.5, but I think the total at 58.5 might be a little conservative.
Yeah, I'm not really sure who to take in this game. I guess maybe go with Texas State, although both teams are Texas-based teams.
Have them win a bowl game. That's fine.
Yep. Your 4:30 kickoff, Navy in Cincinnati playing in the AutoZone Liberty Bowl in Memphis.
Get in price is 63. Navy is 754.5, and I think this solidifies once again why Blake Horvath is invited to our end of season coffee clatch and s'mores roast.
Yep. I got no interest.
Yep, I'll go with Navy in this one too because I don't want to pick against them in a bowl game. It's always good to see an armed
support your armed
services
services.
Yes,
that too.
Your two evening games start with Arizona and SMU squaring off in the Trust and Will, but not Will and Grace Holiday Bowl.
I don't know Trust and Will, so I don't know if I should either trust or will them to a Holiday Bowl.
This one's not even on the board for tickets.
Well, Snapdragon in and of itself seats about 32. So if there is no line on tickets, good for this bowl game having no line on tickets. Good for them. Arizona's a 351.5.
Yeah, that either means it's sold out or nobody's coming.
Yeah, tight shots for a big FOX in that one.
I've been there. That's a nice little stadium.
Knowing how Arizona football fans travel, it's sold out.
Yeah.
And it's an easy drive from Tucson to San Diego. Holiday Bowl is always entertaining. That's why I'm going to watch it. You got two entertaining teams here, Arizona and SMU. So I'll give it a good look. I like the Wildcats in this game, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, this should actually be a pretty good matchup. Two pretty good teams playing. Your final game of the night, Wake Forest and Mississippi State at the Duke's Mayo Bowl. Who gets the tub of mayonnaise dumped on their head?
Oh,
mayonnaise, yeah.
Mississippi State, 3.5.
Probably Mississippi State.
3.5, 53.5. I'll go Mississippi State in this one. Wake Forest to me has just been too up and down, and so I will go with Mississippi State in this one.
All right, how far does
Wake will be sleeping?
How far does the tarp extend on the upper deck of Bank of America Stadium? And how many people to Wake bring?
All the way around and 12.
Yeah. And that it's not exactly a long drive for the folks at Wake either.
It's an hour.
From Salem to Charlotte.
Yeah, no, this will be a lower bowl experience, much kind of like what they experience with their Major League Soccer franchise.
Yes.
Said that out loud?
You did, but that's okay.
And we also
permitted.
Honesty is the best policy.
Yes, and we also have championship games coming in Division 1 AA and in Division 3. It is the juggernaut that is North Central out of suburban Chicago, Illinois, taking on Wisconsin River Falls. And if you have not seen the highlights of the end of Wisconsin River Falls and Johns Hopkins, I would recommend you do so. And that's your Division 3 championship game in Salem, Virginia, the Amos Alonzo Stag Bowl. And then the other game that we talked about earlier in the show that is going to be in Nashville. It is your Division 1 AA. Yes, I said it that way to date myself. The FCS title game. Montana State is going to be taking on Illinois State in Nashville on the campus of Vanderbilt University at the recently completed stadium on campus. So
there is not a single Dakota school to be seen.
Nope. The three of them got knocked out in one weekend, and Illinois State has ridden the OSG bump on the X with our buddy Craig Birchie, the sideline guy for Illinois State. They have been on every show leading into the games that they have played, and they have made it to the title game. We are going to effort Keaton Galogly, the play-by-play voice of Montana State, who's been on the show a lot, and Craig Birchie. We're going to talk about Ferris State winning a championship in Division 2. We're going to catch up with Rob Bentley, their play-by-play guy, and we'll find out what else we're going to talk about. Oh, yeah, we're going to talk to John Carroll and get a D3 preview as well. So that's tease about the College Football X coming up later in the week.
If there's any Cinderella story in this tournament, it's Illinois State.
No doubt.
The Roadbirds have just been.
Roadbirds! I like that.
The Roadbirds. They got the huge upset over North Dakota State, and
Al Davis.
Here they are in the title game, undefeated. This is your equivalent of a football Cinderella story. Is the Illinois State Redbirds. And now you're going up against Montana State, the number 2 team in the country. If you watch them against Montana, man, did they pour it on in the second half. And Montana State looks legit. I mean, they have got some players. And you love the fact that it's a Missouri Valley and Big Sky, the 2 heavyweights.
Not the teams you expect from each conference, too.
Yeah. Two heavyweight conferences in the FCS level. Can Illinois State ride that Cinderella story into Nashville and win a national title and bring it back to Norman, Illinois? That would be huge. I'm going with the Roadbirds.
Look at you.
I gotta go for the Grizzlies just because their mascot's named after my brother.
They're the Bobcats.
Careful now, it's Bobcats.
Oh,
yeah, I don't want to.
Them's fighting words. Them's fighting words in that state. Them's fighting words.
Definitely do not want to confuse those two guys. What do you say we wrap things up?
You're dying, aren't you?
Yes, I am. quickly.
Let's save Phil and get this wrapped up.
Yes.
For a very feeling sickly me, for Brother Wilkie, Brother John, and Brother Marty, we are part of the OSG Sports team. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We will hopefully talk to you again next week, assuming that we have a voice.
Please like and subscribe.